Hello friends, welcome back to our channel 2 Reds 1 Pitch. I am Maninder and with me is the ever-suffering Manchester United supporter Vineet, and today we would be diving straight into the hot mess that is Manchester United's hot seat. So Vineet, Ruben Amorim, the Portuguese prodigy who was supposed to turn Old Trafford into a fortress, instead it's looking more like a leaky garden shed. And it looks like being a Manchester United supporter these days, it feels like signing for a weekly heartbreak subscription. So what I'm trying to understand right now from you to begin this conversation is how are you feeling and how's 343 treating you?
As a Manchester United fan, I'm used to be thriving, right? But I'm barely surviving now. Like you rightly said, it's a weekly heartbreak. Well, I don't know. What do you think? I have my thoughts, plenty of them, but what do you think, Mr. 6 points from 2 matches?
Well, I think you're looking in the wrong direction. So we are right up top, you're right down bottom. So I think you should first start looking at mid-table before you look at the top of the table. But one thing that I'm very keen to hear from you is that Ruben Amorim has been very rigid
Yeah.
tactically. We all know he has been from day one. So regardless of whether 343 would work for him or not, he will stick to his principles and he will live by the sword, die by the sword. My question to you from the small sample size of this season, and I'm willing to give him benefit of doubt for the last season. I'm just keeping that last season out of my mind. I'm just keeping the small sample size of this season.
Right.
I still do not know how the existing players fit into that, one. And second, I still do not know if he's even looking outside for players who can actually fit it into this system. It might be a long haul for you, but what are your initial thoughts in terms of what you have right now? We will talk about the remaining transfer window, but what you have right now in terms of the players, is 343 the right option for him?
Well, last season there was a lot of square pegs in round holes. This season there are fewer square pegs, but they're still there. So the problem, I go back to the good old Sir Alex Ferguson days. A great manager is the one who is ready to tweak his or her own tactics, right? Sir Alex Ferguson, when he was in Europe, he played 4-5-1 almost, right? Ronaldo up top and even Rooney up top. Ruben Amorim has been very crystal clear in saying, hey, I would not change. I think that was a mistake because he shouldn't be saying it out loud, even if he doesn't want to do that. Because now, if he goes back and changes or tweaks something, people will go and ask him, hey, you said I would never change, but now you have changed. So that's a problem. Having said that, there are a lot of issues, as in I can see some progression, right? Only Cunha is like Cunha has
Yeah,
hit the
he
ground
has been
running.
good.
Yeah,
He has been really good. So in those
yeah,
two matches, I think he and to some extent Mbuemo have been the only spark that I've seen in the Manchester United starting 11, or in
yeah,
fact even the ones who are coming from the bench. But those two aside, they come with EPL experience, so we know that they would have hit the ground running, and that's what they have done. Between Cunha and Mbuemo, they have still not been able to score goal. They have hit the bar, they have hit the post multiple times, and even with 3-4-3, with having three defenders at the back, it is still a leaky defense. My granny's teapot was less leaky than your defense. So in terms of the current system, it is a broken balance. There is no pattern play, struggling with long balls, struggling with second balls. I do not know what is Amorim's fascination with 3-4-3. It's like he's got a tattoo on his heart for that specific formation. But
yeah.
from the current team members, and I'm inclined to include the ones on the bench as well, who do you feel might be the one who can actually turn this around?
But before you talk about midfield, you mentioned something about the defense, right? I think the defense has been brilliant, but well, with your Liverpool tinted glasses, you wouldn't see that, right? But anyways, besides that point, coming back to midfield, which you really,
Stop looking at Liverpool. We need stop looking at us. There are multiple steps in that ladder. Start to look at just one place above.
yeah, yeah,
Looking at
we'll
Liverpool
talk
is a
about
is
Liverpool
a
later on, not now, not now. But having
but looking at Liverpool is a fallacy that would not take you anywhere.
well, you are up top, but the only way you're going is down. I'm pretty sure of that. Having said that, coming back to the midfield, Manchester United midfield is an interesting one. It seems like in the age of broadband, they're still on dial-up connection. They're so slow, and Bruno Fernandes runs like here and there, everywhere. We made a shot around it, and it was pretty damn correct. Having said that, one thing which I really could not understand at all, right? I understood in the last game, brought Bruno and Mount together in the midfield, and we lost control. But I have no idea. Mbuemo in the last game was not performing that well. He did bits and pieces okay, but in the second half, he was not in the game at all. He could have pulled him out, put Bruno up top as a number 10, and brought in Kobe Mainu. I don't know what's really happening with Kobe Mainu. Is he going? Is he staying? Even if he's still there, either Amarim is sending out a clear cut message, hey, you're out. You will not get any chances. Get me my 50, $60 million, right? But I don't know what's
And
going
watch
on.
him become and watch him become a Ronaldo as soon as he leaves Manchester United and joins the next club.
Well, not many people have done really well after leaving Manchester United. Well,
Really?
absolutely, we are not Chelsea. They let go Kevin De Bruyne, and what happened with him. So yeah. But coming back to Ruben Amorim married to 343, you're absolutely right. It's a little bit tough thing for me to kind of swallow. Like, how can a Manchester United, how can a seemingly world class manager be so rigid with the system? Ruben Amorim should still be a little bit more flexible even if it is in his own mind right now. On the contrary, right, the devil's advocate to why 3-4-3 is Eric Ten Hag with the similar squad couldn't do anything with 4-3-3. It's a very difficult situation. Like you said, signing up for weekly heartbreak subscription. That's Manchester United fans for
Yeah.
you.
I'm not sure that's a dig at Eric Ten Hag or it's a dig at all the Manchester United players, that regardless of which manager comes in with whichever
Yeah.
tactics, the players just do not perform. But let me ask you a very pointed and straight question. So, in this day and age of social network, and you rightly said hyperbole, Manchester United fans are some of the most passionate supporters
Yeah.
in the world. I would say second most passionate. Liverpool are still top on that. But we have already started hearing murmurs of Amorim sack. Of course,
Yeah.
that's hyperbole, knee-jerk reaction, all of that. I'm more than happy if you give him a 10-year deal. But what is the mood generally in the Manchester United fan base? Are they willing to give him the time? Are they willing to be patient with him? Or do you feel that there is a specific target this season? If that is not achieved, then he's a goner.
It's disappointing. The overwhelming the feeling with Manchester United fans, and I speak to other of my mates, and I'm looking at Twitter talk shows, etc. It's utter disappointment. But I understand few people calling out Amorim out. Those are the same people who would call out Amorim out last season. Eric Ten Hag out, right? Those are pessimists, right? I'm somewhere pro Amorim, but not at 100%, 70%. The only reason being is I want him to be a little bit more flexible. I'm not saying that he should change his formation right away or change his philosophy right away, but even it sometimes would pay to tweak things within the game, right? He does make a change. He brings in Harry Maguire up top, right? But that's the only change I have
Yeah.
seen him bring about. So, and that's pretty shoddy Stoke like Manchester United for you,
Yeah, that's what happens when you do not get proper players through the transfer window.
right?
You have to throw Harry Maguire as your or as a target man. I'm not sure who's running that negotiation show in your club. My toddler could negotiate better. But apart apart from that, I would say that don't be too down. Cheer up, mate. There's always next season for you folks. And that's pretty much it from our side for this episode. Please do let us know in the comment section if you feel Amorim is the right person to take Manchester United forward, and do like and subscribe. Thank you, folks.